Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be discussing a very highly requested topic on my channel, which is Amazon product research. How to find good products that you can sell on Amazon to bring you in a steady income every single month while you are selling on the platform. There are a lot of different factors that goes into product research and picking something that is actually going to make you money, and we will go over some of those important points in today's video. So keep watching if you're interested in that. And I do want to let you know that I will be using a software to help me with my product research today. That software is called Helium 10. It is an incredibly powerful tool to help you pick products to sell on Amazon, among other things, but for the purposes of today's video, we're just going to be using the Google Chrome extension. So feel free to go ahead and download that onto your computers. I do have a link in my bio for you guys to be able to go ahead and get that for a bit of a discount. So feel free to check that out, and we will go ahead and get started with today's video. As you can see, we are on Amazon's website. So this is Amazon.com because I live in the US. But if you are in Canada, Mexico, or any other country, you might have a specific Amazon marketplace for the place that you live. However, if you are selling on Amazon, even if you do not live in the United States, I do highly recommend that you sell your products in the US regardless of where you live, because the US is Amazon's biggest marketplace, and this is where you're going to be able to make the most amount of money because there are the most customers here. So more customers means more sales means more money for you. So highly recommend that you are searching on Amazon.com, though I will say that Helium 10 does have capabilities for other marketplaces as well. Here we are on the main page, and when you are doing your product research, it's really important to remember a couple of different factors. One of the most important things that you can remember is that Amazon is essentially a search engine. So when you go to the homepage of Amazon, yes, you see the recommendations. Yes, you see, the different tabs for, different products that you can sell. But most importantly, what you are seeing is a search bar. And that search bar is what makes Amazon very similar to a place like Google, where people are looking for something specific and they're going to type that thing in. The reason that I'm even bringing up the search bar and trying to make this point is that Amazon is very dependent on keywords. So keywords when you're selling on Amazon are one of the most important things to understand, because the keyword is what determines how people find your product. So if you were to try to sell a microphone on Amazon, there are lots of different words that people might use to describe what they're trying to find. If it's a microphone, they might type in iPhone mic, they might type in camera microphone, they might type in handheld microphone, they might type in podcasting microphone, they might type in Yeti microphone. They can type in anything. And so depending on what is typed into the key bar, or the search bar, there's going to be different results that come up for that. So if I were to type in microphone, I'm going to see all of these different options for microphones, and these are the different offers on Amazon. What I want to mention quickly is, as you're looking at my screen, you're seeing a lot of extra data and a lot of extra stuff that you probably don't see on your screen when you're shopping on Amazon, and that's because I've got Helium 10 installed, and so it is generating all of this extra information so that I can see what's going on beneath the surface of just what I can see as a customer. So that is what you all are seeing here, where you're seeing these numbers or these boxes that include different numbers and different metrics. So what you can see here is the ASIN, and the ASIN is the number that Amazon uses to identify different products on the platform and in their fulfillment centers. The ASIN is what describes that. And what I think is really cool is that you can see the flag, and this flag tells you what country the seller is selling from, where they are selling their products out of. So you can see that all of the top sellers for these microphones are coming out of China. Is that a surprise? Absolutely not, because microphones are a more expensive product. And so the people who are making the products, the manufacturers, are able to make it for the cheapest possible price and sell it for the cheapest possible price. Whereas if there is a middleman or a third-party seller like me or like you, you're going to have to buy it from the supplier, and then you're going to have to increase the price to make a profit. They are the direct source of this product on here because it's more pricey. And unfortunately, as products start to become more and more expensive, sometimes you do have that scenario where the manufacturers themselves come on Amazon and start selling it themselves. What I will say though is the advantage that you're always going to have over a manufacturer or a supplier trying to sell on Amazon is that a lot of times you can make the listing a lot better than they can, because sometimes English is not their first language, or they don't necessarily know how to make the listing look as appealing as possible to American buyers. So that is a place where you might have a little bit of leeway. But whenever I'm doing product research, if I see immediately that there's a bunch of Chinese flags or flags from any other country that is not the US, I get nervous, because it makes me feel that there's not going to be a good price point that I can buy this for and reasonably sell it for a markup and still compete with the manufacturers themselves. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at, and I'm just kind of giving you guys a bit of a inside view of what I think of when I'm looking up these products on Amazon using Helium-10. These are the things that come to my mind. So immediately red flag, because I see all of these literal red flags or these Chinese flags. I just know that a lot of these sellers are the manufacturers themselves. As I continue to scroll through, I can see the average number of reviews for all of these products. The very first listing that I see here, that is the best seller, it has over 2,000 reviews, over 11,000 reviews, almost 5,000 reviews, over 9,000 reviews. This scares me, all right? And I'm not saying that this is a good product to sell. Actually, it's a terrible product to sell as a beginner, because it's very, very, very competitive and very saturated. So you would not want to sell this product. And all of the red flags are here. All of the signs are here that this is not a good product to sell, simply because you've got these, you know, bigger brands like Yeti, which I mentioned before, that is a known brand. It's going to be hard to compete with them. And on top of that, this is an electronic, and electronics are notoriously tricky when it comes to quality control. So I would highly recommend that you don't sell an electronic as a beginner. If you do, take caution, because you're gonna have to do a very good job making sure that they're not defective in any way before they get to the US. So with that being said, this would not be a good product to sell immediately. I haven't even used Helium-10 really to evaluate this product, but even on a surface level, I can see that the reviews are too high. I can see that it's very competitive, and it's an electronic. So those are all red flags. That being said, I'm going to still pull up the data with Helium-10 so I can at least show you what you would be looking out for, okay? I'm going to go to my little icons and I'm going to click on the Helium-10 one, which is the bars right here, and it's blue. You'll be able to see it in yours when you download the Chrome extension. And I want you guys to know that I do have the platinum plan with Helium-10. So the platinum plan is really all you need when you're starting out. They do have other tiers that have more tools, but you don't need those when you're very first starting out. So I do have a link in my description for you to get the platinum plan for 20% off for 6 months. And I think that is an incredible deal, because this product research software is the best that you can get, trust me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click on the extension, and I'm going to go to this tool right here called X-Ray, and it says Amazon Product Research. So when I click on X-Ray, it's going to pull up an entire new portal with a bunch of information, and don't you worry, we're going to talk about what all these things mean. So what we can see here is this is the result that we get for microphone. Remember, I told you that Amazon is a search engine, so if you type in microphone, this is what you get. But if you were to type in desktop microphone, podcast microphone, speaking microphone, tiny microphone, whatever you were to type in, you would get different results. So it's very important to kind of identify the keywords that you want to search by and make sure that they're ones that your customers would be using to actually describe your product that you're looking to sell. So anyway, we've got microphone here up on the screen, and what we can do is we can see the search volume for the keyword microphone. So this is on a monthly basis. All of these numbers that you see are by month. So the search volume on an average month, or for this month for microphone, is 160,957, which is a lot of searches. A lot of people are looking for microphones, which is not a surprise. We're living in a world where everyone makes content, a lot of people are online, so there's a lot of interest in this product. Now, if we are to click on this graph right here, it will show us some really cool information. And I love looking at search history, or the volume of these keywords in the past because it really gives you a good view of what the popularity of these keywords have been over time. So we can look by 30 days, we can look at 90 days, 1 year, or all time. I love to look at all time because it gives me the most well-rounded view of how this search term has done over time. And we can see that this goes all the way back until 2019. In January 2019, we can see that the search volume was 183,000. And we can go and we can look at the spikes, we can look at the valleys and try to kind of figure out what is going on here. What we can see is that there's a spike right here, December 21st, 2019. And what does that tell us? Christmas, right? The holiday season. So let's see if the other spike is for Christmas time. There we go. December 19th is the peak, right around the holidays. Let's see here. December 18th, the peak, right around the holidays. And then again, another peak right around the holidays. So what that tells us is that this product is somewhat seasonal. And the reason I say somewhat seasonal and not truly seasonal is that there is still demand regardless of whether it's Christmas or not. If we were to see that these numbers or the search volume was 0 until Christmas and then it spikes up and then it's 0 until Christmas and it spikes up, that would indicate that this is truly a seasonal product. But because there is still demand either way, it is not truly seasonal. You could make money with this product all year round, theoretically. Am I making sense? So there we go with the search volume, and that is that data that we see right up here. Now we can see that there are different topics here. Total revenue, which for this product is almost 5.3 million per month in total revenue, which is really high. I mean, that's a lot of money on a monthly basis flowing in and out. And then we've got average revenue, 150,000, a little over. The average price is $47. The average BSR, or best sellers rank, that is an indicator of how quickly a product is selling on Amazon. So the closer to 0 that best sellers rank is, the more quickly a product is moving. So if your BSR is 500,000, that means that there are 499,000 products that are moving more quickly than your product is. That is where you are in line. Now, if your best sellers rank is 1, that means that you are the fastest selling product for that keyword. And if your best sellers rank is 1, that means that you are selling a disgusting amount of products, like ridiculous. And you are making just an unimaginable amount of money because you are the best selling product. Does that make sense? So that is what average BSR indicates. So the average BSR for this is 475, which is really low. That means that in general, this product is moving quickly. And then we've got average reviews at 9,700. So 9,700 is insane. That is a very high average review count, and that scares me. I told you all when I was looking at the homepage, I could already tell that the reviews were high based off of the listings that I saw, and this right here proves it. 9,700, insane. And just for reference, when I am teaching the students in my program, or if I'm talking about this information on TikTok, people always ask me, well, if 9,700 is too high for an average review count, what should I be looking for? Your average review should not be over 200. So if you're looking for a potential product to sell on Amazon and you pull up X-Ray and you can see that the average reviews is over 200, me personally, and I've done this for going on 5 years now, you guys, I make a great amount of money selling on Amazon. In my personal and professional opinion, 200 reviews is the upper limit. Anything higher than that, it's going to start to become more and more competitive. And the more competitive a specific product is to sell, or a niche or a market is to sell in, the more money you're going to spend on ads. And no one here wants to spend all of their money that they're making right back into their ad spend. You want to be in a position where you are making a profit. And it's much easier process to try to profit when you're not spending your money on ads, or all of your money on ads. There is a ratio that will make sense for that. But in general, and please just trust me when I say this, that review count is such an important metric. Make sure that you are finding a product where the average reviews are not too high, okay? And again, my recommendation is 200 or less. That being said, what we can see here on this extension tool is all of the information pertaining to these products that are on the first page. So this is only showing us the products on page 1. We can see the product details, we can see the ASIN, the brand name, the price point, the number of units they're selling on a monthly basis, the sales graph, we can see the revenue, which is how much money they're making. We can see the bestsellers rank, we can see the country of origin or where they're selling from. We can see what fees they're paying to Amazon, the active number of sellers on the listing, the ratings, or the star rating, so 4.6 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, whatever. We can see the number of reviews, how many images they have, their sales velocity or how quickly the product is selling, and then a bunch of other information. I could continue to go on, but for the sake of time, we'll just leave it there. So there's a bunch of information that you can see, which is really cool. And then what you can do, and what I do recommend you looking at, is the sales graph. So if you're looking at the top seller of these microphones, you can click on revenue, which is this column right here. You can click it once and it'll go lowest to highest, and you click it a second time, it'll go highest to lowest. So I always like this view of looking at who's making the most money to who's making the least, because I want to see how much money the good sellers are making. The ones who are making money, I want to see what they're doing. I want to see what their listing looks like. I want to see what they're providing so that I have an idea of what it's going to take to compete in this space. So what I can see here by looking at the sales graph is that this product has been increasing over time. You can see this bar here, even though it's not a drastic increase, it is slowly but surely creeping up. And again, you can look by 30 days, 90 days, 1 year, or all time. So if I look at the all-time sales of this specific product on Amazon, I can look back and see that they actually really only launched in August 2022. At the time of recording this video, it is February 2023. So they only launched about 6 months ago. And in those 6 months, the overall trend has been down, which is not a good sign, which is why it's important to look at the high level view of how the product has done over time. So we're looking at from the time the product was launched until now, but if we were to only look at 30 days, it looks like it's trending up. So when you give yourself a very small view, you don't see what's really going on in total with the product. So I like to always look at all time so that I get the best information, and so I can make a good decision and not just look at, oh, it's done great over 30 days, let me sell the product, when in reality it's trending down. So with that, I can also go ahead and look at other graphs as well. So how the BSR or bestsellers rank has changed over time, and I can see how the review count has changed over time. And in general, when you're looking at review count, that is going to increase over time, because the longer a listing is there, the more reviews are going to come in general. So you'll see how this blue line increases as time goes on. So with that, you can continue to look through the different listings and see what everyone is doing and all of the numbers behind the scenes. But one thing that I will recommend is that you click on this button right here in the top right hand corner, find suppliers on Alibaba, and it will automatically open up a new window with Alibaba.com, and it'll show you suppliers, and you can start looking for, different manufacturers who can make you this product if you feel like it is a good product to move forward with. Now, let me give you my own personal opinion. This product, I would run away from. I would not touch this product with a 6-foot pole. Although the search volume is high, meaning that there's a lot of interest and demand for this product, the average reviews makes it so that it is incredibly competitive. And on top of that, like I said, it's an electronic, and on top of that, it is most likely going to be expensive to source from a supplier on Alibaba. And with your very first product, you want to make sure that you are selling something that is reasonably priced. Reasonable is going to depend on the person that you ask, but to me, for someone who is doing this for the very first time, a reasonably priced product would be $5 or less per unit. So if you're buying a product for $3 on Alibaba, you should be able to mark the price up and then sell it for $15 or more. If you're buying it for $4, you mark the price up, sell it for $20 or more. So you're always trying to make sure that you are getting it, obviously, for a lower price than what you're going to sell it for, because you want to make a profit when selling these products. So that is how I think through my products when I'm doing research. And if any of my students are asking me for an opinion on a product, this is kind of the way my mind works as I'm thinking through whether it would make sense or not to sell. Now, of course, there are other things that you can look at here, but this is kind of a quick view of what I would look for. So with that, we can go ahead and look up any product, and just so you know, once I clicked on this, you can see all of this other information that Helium-10 provides for you. So you can search for any product on Amazon using Helium-10 and look at all of these numbers. So if you're someone like me who shops on Amazon probably a little bit more than you should, you can go and see exactly how much money all of these products are making. So if you're shopping for toys for your kids online, you can see how much money those toys are making or the sellers are making. And it's really interesting to be able to see that back view of what is actually going on the business side of, you know, these Amazon products. So I want you to know that when you click on the search bar and you have Helium-10, it's going to give you a bunch of different suggestions. And so the Amazon suggestions will come up here on the left hand side. Related keywords, so things that are related to microphone, which would be things like microphone stand or microphone for PC, microphone wireless. And as you can see, these all have different search volumes. So depending on what you type in, you're going to get a different number here. So you can see which keywords are more popular than other keywords, right? You want to be able to know which ones people are using. And funny enough, we can see here that microphone for PC or microphone wireless, microphone for iPhone, those all have less searches than mic, just regular mic. So if you're doing your product research, you want to know that people are using mic instead of microphone or whatever it is, so that you can make sure that your product is being ranked on that page. The page where there are the most searches is the page where you want to be on the very first page one, so more people can see your product. There's a lot that I can talk about, and I know that this probably feels like a lot of information, you guys. I break everything down step by step in my program, which unfortunately is over 16 hours long. I can't sit here for 16 hours on YouTube and explain every little thing to you, but these are some of the important things to just kind of think about as you're doing your research. And this is stuff that you're gonna start to get more comfortable with as you continue to practice. So even if right now it feels like this is a lot, I don't know if I'm going to be able to understand all of this, you will. Just continue practicing with this extension tool and you will start to get the hang of things as you go. So let's look up another product. And one thing that I have been seeing a lot on TikTok, funny enough, mini items, just like mini food items, mini house items. I'm not sure if there's a whole side of TikTok or some kind of a hobby where people are really into creating miniature houses or models of something, but I have been seeing these on TikTok, and I know it's very random, but sometimes those random products that you see on your social media are the ones that end up being your winning product. So funny enough, as I type in mini, I can see what is being populated for related keywords. So we can see mini stuff, which is basically what I'm talking about. Not anything super specific, but mini items. And what is cool when you're using this tool is that it can give you ideas for different products you weren't even thinking of. So in my mind, I'm thinking of mini food items, mini plates, mini kitchen things, and I can see cat window hammock. I don't know why that populated, but I never thought of that. And now my interest is in cat window hammocks. I can go down a rabbit hole and I can go wherever the research takes me. So don't be afraid to have an open mind and look up these products that you might not have ever thought of. You never know what the numbers are going to look like. So out of curiosity, I'm going to click on cat window hammock. I'm not sure how this product does. I've never seen it before. I don't have any pets, so I'm not very familiar with it. But We are inside of Cat Window Hammock, and here we can see that the search volume is 14,550. And then we can look at the search volume history, and we can see that all time it has had a couple of peaks here. It looks like right around the holiday season, it peaked again in April. We've got some other peaks here again in April. I'm not very aware of cats or what goes on in April. Maybe it's when they start having babies or something. I assume that there's some kind of a reason that it is spiking around that time. And that's the way you want to think through your products is, thinking outside of the box of why you might be seeing certain peaks and valleys as you're looking at the historical sales data so that you can understand how to plan your inventory and what to expect when you launch your product. If you were going to launch this product for a very first time, and let's say that you didn't do your research, you might not realize that there's more of an opportunity to make money in April than there would be in, let's say, a month like August. So you want to be able to know exactly what's going on in your market before you launch your product. And then here we can see there was a really high spike in June and another one here in July on specific days. And I wonder if this is caused by some influencer or some famous person talking about cat hammocks. And maybe that's why there are these huge peaks, because there's not really another place where we can see these huge jumps. And whenever I see anything that looks very out of the blue, my assumption a lot of times is that somehow it was mentioned on Jimmy Kimmel or something like that, and there was a lot more interest in the product. So you have to be careful with those ones. Don't use that as the norm. It's just some random thing that happened. And if you do your research, maybe there's a way to find out what that thing was, but you don't want to be making your decisions based off of just these really high spots. So then we can see the other information here, like we did with the microphone. We've seen that the total revenue is 872,000, which is a lot of money. Once again, that's healthy. The average revenue per seller, 22,000, that's solid. Average price, $27, solid. The average BSR or best sellers rank, 31,000, solid. So if you were looking at my own personal criteria for selling on Amazon, all of these things check out so far. Now, we get to the average reviews, and what do we see? Average reviews is 1,456, which is very, very high, and that would eliminate this product as something that I would personally sell or something that any of my students would sell, because this is far outside of that 200 review count range. However, one thing I want to show you guys, which is pretty cool, is that when you order your products from highest to lowest in terms of revenue by clicking on the revenue column once and then twice, you can do something really cool where you can remove products that don't apply to what you're actually trying to sell. So what will happen sometimes is that random products will find their way into your results here, and it can obscure the data. So for example, if there was a product here that wasn't actually a cat window hammock, we would be able to remove it so that it would readjust the average reviews, and it would readjust all of the numbers to account for that extra thing. So I hope that this video helps you think through your product research as you are going on Amazon and looking for things to sell. That is why I always recommend to use Helium 10, because those tools really will help you be able to see exactly what is going on the back end so that you can make an educated decision when you are investing in your very first product on Amazon FBA and as you start your business. So I am open to making more videos like this in the future, you guys. This is just one of the many tools that you could use to help make sure that you are doing this the right way. And I'm happy to show and share. Just let me know in the comments. If you did find this video helpful, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you want more videos all about business, making money online, and all things finance. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out the video right here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.